Darnell, the regular season's over. We've been nitpicking. Their defense hadn't been as good. They messed up when they could have got the 5, 6, 7 seed. But let's start on the regular season. First of all, one of the greatest turnarounds in NBA history to go from 23 to 50 wins. The 27-game improvement's like 7th best all-time. Usually it's adding a Larry Bird, adding a David Robinson. They had the 3 rookies that had come off the bench. Amazing turnaround. Nobody would have seen it coming when you will go back to October. Talk about going from 23 to 50 wins this year.
I think you said it best. I mean, the most impressive thing is that they didn't add a core, a key cog. I mean, they didn't add a Steve Nash or a Larry Bird or a Tim Duncan or David Robinson. I mean, they added Serge Ibaka. They added James Harden. They added Eric Maynard. Everyone else, the starting lineup from last season was the same. So, when you rate this turnaround in terms of NBA history, I think this is probably one of the best in history, not in terms of numbers and game improvement, but just in terms of the way that they did it. I think you have to be impressed with how they did it.
And they always talk about team. They always talk about other elements. But Kevin Durant had one of those seasons to where he's first-time All-Star. He also 6th most free throws made in a season, the highest not 800 guy, which is Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Michael Jordan. The other guys are legends. He also leads the league in scoring. Just talk about the season he had. At age 21, the youngest guy to ever win the scoring title. Just an amazing season. We knew he was going to get better, but he got way better. And he even plays good defense this year, a better defense.
Yeah, I think he's sort of tired of talking about his scoring. He said in Portland, I was getting Jeff Green to comment on his scoring, and Kevin's sitting right next to him, and he says, I'm not just a scorer. I can do more than just score. So I think he's tired of talking about it. But when you look at the season he's had, I mean, you can't really do anything but talk about it. I mean, 29 straight games with 25-plus points. How many? 46 games of 30 points or more. 8 40-point games. So what he's done this season has been incredible. I mean, he's the only player this season to average 30 points per game, the youngest scoring leader in NBA history. You have to tip your cap to Kevin Durant. I mean, he put together a phenomenal season.
And defense, they talked about in training camp was going to be the key to the turnaround. It was for a while, but we crunched the numbers for our big special section that you guys need to get this weekend on Saturday to preview the playoffs. But defensive numbers are not pretty since the All-Star break. 102 points a game, 47% by the opponents per game. They keep talking about it getting better. It hasn't got a whole lot better. Now you're playing the defending champs, even though they're a little nicked up with Bynum not playing well, Kobe's a little hurt. Nobody gives them much a chance. With the way the defense is playing, is this team in a little bit of trouble with the lack of experience in the way the defense is playing?
Yeah, the defense has to be, your biggest concern because, they played some good defense tonight, sort of got back to their basic fundamentals in the second quarter, against the Grizzlies. But that's against the Grizzlies. I mean, when you play in the defending champions with the Lakers, I don't care how banged up Kobe Bryant is. I don't care how rusty Andrew Bynum might be. Those guys have experience. They know how to play the game. And, they're going to have their hands full. I think they're going to have a team effort defensively. I mean, you got to have to guard individually first and then trust your teammates. If they do that, I think they can have a chance to make it a good series. But if they don't bring that defensive effort every game, it could get ugly quickly.
We're going to preview the playoffs and the shock and the differences between the regular season and the playoffs on Friday. We have a 12-page special section on Saturday to get you ready. Last year at this time, we were saying goodbye, see you next season because they had 23 wins. We're not saying goodbye this time. Games 3 and 4 will be here in the Ford Center. Most likely, we think, Thursday next week. The schedule comes out later tonight. Be sure to go to newsok.com for all the playoff coverage and join us again next week when the Los Angeles Lakers play the Thunder in the playoffs in the Ford Center.